Hi, my name is Gabby and welcome back to my channel. Today is a busy day. I have 2 videos to film. My end of month closeout, I guess, budget closeout, and then I have a budget with me because I did get paid today. First, we're filming my January 2024 budget closeout just so I can get February ready to go for my first paycheck. So today's video is going to cover, again, the budget closeout, going over my spending for the month, and then my progress on my goals. So let's get into it. To close out my budget, what I do is go to the month I'm working on, in this case January 2024, and go through all of these categories to grab any money that I didn't use for the month in my spending categories. This would only be money in the food and variable expenses. Everything else stays put. All right, so let's go ahead and move all of this money to ready to assign, and then we'll figure out where to send the money. So we have $386.52 to work with today. I have made some notes on what I want to do with this money. Let's see. There was just some things down here. I want to add 25 cents to personal care. So we have an even $60 in there. Those are okay. We'll send 35 cents here, is that right? Yep. I bought my boyfriend something very, very small, so pulled money from his gift category. This used to be just for his birthday present, but now I've included anything that I may treat him to throughout the year. Household consumables. We'll send $114 to get it up to $155. Okay, and then travel, $352 to, again, get that to a nice, number over here. So that still gives us $377.63 to budget with. Now I have to figure out where I want to send this to. Not to any of these things. It's mostly sinking funds and then my savings and investing categories. Oh, there was another thing. I saw, what is her name? I'm blanking. Cointrol Freak on YouTube. She is new to showing her budget on YouTube. And she talked about not needing to roll with the punches because she has just about everything covered. And I've been feeling that way for months. I just haven't said anything. And I thought I would kind of do what she's doing a little bit. And I'm going to start very, very small and only move one of my sinking funds categories to more of a variable expenses and cash flow things rather than having money set aside for it. I just feel like it's too much. There really is no reason I would ever spend this much money. So it's this one. So first I want to move $100 to ready to assign. And then I'm going to leave $50 in there.
The way I'm doing this up to variable expenses.
I like to have a rideshare category just because living in a city, we rely mostly on the bus and the train to get us around, but every once in a while we're just way too tired, or I don't know, it's too early or too late, and so we'd rather take an Uber. In this case, I don't remember what this was for. Just 2 Ubers, but I always split those with my boyfriend. I rarely take Ubers by myself. Okay, so now we have $477.63 to work with. And going back to this sinking fund category thing and rolling with the punches, I'm considering doing that for other things as well. I'm just not sure exactly how much I want to do. She kind of did a lot and it was inspiring. And then for household consumables, I put it down in sinking funds because I'm trying to build this up so that when we make a purchase, I can pull from it. It tends to be like a lot. At the same time, we'll place like an Instacart order and, you know, buy paper towels and shampoo and everything from like Costco, so it's like pricey all in one. Sorry, that was my work email. So I'm trying to figure out like one, where I want to put this. It could go, I could keep it here, or I could maybe bring it up to variable expenses, so I'm not sure. And then yeah, so anyways, $477.63 to work with, and these are the potential category groups that I could send the money to. I think with my birthday coming up, I think I want to send some money there.
Plus 100. I'll do another.
Let's do $355 to my Roth IRA. No. Yes, $355. 2263. What else do we want to do with this? You know, I think I'll do 20 to my birthday. Again, it's coming up really fast, so I just want to make sure that I have money to buy whatever it is that I want to buy. And then 263 we'll send to holding. And the holding category sometimes I use to like grab a few cents here and there, a couple dollars, to get these to a nice even number, so that's why I keep it there. Okay, now that all my extra money for January has been reassigned, I also want to clear out my gym spending. So I have $25 in my golf category. I didn't go to the driving range once this month. It was kind of a weird month. We had a kind of a rough start to the month. Work was busy, and then we were on a trip, and now it's the end of the month, so we just didn't get around to it. So I'm gonna move the full $25 to my holding category. And then for tennis, it was the same deal, like rough and busy start to the month, trip, and then we did get out there twice. So this is my half of 2 non-prime hours of the tennis court rentals. They're $35 an hour. I split it with my boyfriend and we went twice. So 90 to EBC holding. The reason I'm hoarding money in this category is because, one, I will have to pay half of the initiation fee coming up in a few months. So I'll pull money from that. And then I want us to take like one-on-one tennis lessons with like the, I guess, tennis pros there, and those are like 100 and some per hour, and we would split it, but it's still way pricier than just renting a court. All right, that takes care of everything that we needed to do in January's budget. Let's go into my spending report. Okay, so I have all of my accounts selected. The only categories I don't have selected here are my reimbursements, and that's just because that's money that people are sending me that I've spent for them, so it doesn't count towards my spending. I've spent just over $3,000 for the month of January. Over half, so 51.9% of that was my bills, and of course over 75% of that was my rent, so that's expected, nothing new there. East Bank makes up, so this is my gym, 13.2% of my bill spending, which is a ton. This used to be way smaller because I didn't have this category, but that's okay, we're enjoying it. We have my phone bill, electricity bill, and then my various streaming that I split with my boyfriend and my sister. After bills, I spent the most in sinking funds. I spent $560.64, or a total of 18.5% of my total spending. That is expected because we traveled, and this trip actually ended up being very, in my opinion, cheap. We had paid for the flights months before, like last year, and this was just like spending money in Puerto Rico. My brother lives there, so we stayed with him and his wife. It was essentially just like food money, a little bit of gas money because we were driving all over the island. We did treat them to a very fancy dinner one night that they took us to, and then we just covered the bill. My portion is included in the $343.52. So I think for about 6 days there, that's pretty decent. Spent $80.57 in live events, and we are going to go see Ali Wong in March, so that's very exciting. I sent my oldest nephew, some money for his birthday. Miscellaneous was $40. What was this? Oh, I bought a Kindle case, like a case for my Kindle. It's so cute. So this is the case that I bought for my Kindle. I just thought it was so cute, so me. I had to get it. And yeah, $40, and I got it at Page the Shop. For home goods, I spent $11.02. We bought a little pillow for our bed, just like a decorative pillow. It's so cute. And household consumables, $10.53. And we just placed an Instacart order. It wasn't that big. It was from Costco, and then I had a $15 credit through my Sapphire card. After that, it's saving and investing, and this number is a little bit off. I have saved over $3,000, almost $3,500, I think is what it was, towards my Roth IRA in 2024, but I'm doing dollar cost averaging, and I'm trying to determine if that's the right move. So for the month of January, I invested $584 of that into my Roth IRA, and then the minus $191.41 is just my high yield savings account interest that stays in my account, in my high yield savings account. I just put it straight into that category and track it that way. So that's why it's minus, because it was technically an inflow where the Roth IRA was an outflow. Food was a little less than 10% for $288.48. Of that, we spent $181.07 in groceries. I only spend $46.22 dining out, and that is very, very low for me, but part of that has to do with dining out, like in my travel. That went under the travel category. And then at the beginning of the month, my boyfriend did treat to some food out. So this is all I had to pay for Pequod's one day, and then we went to a Mexican restaurant. Work lunches was $36.86 for the month, treats $22.74, and delivery $1.59. Why is that so? I don't remember why that's so tiny, but that's what it is. Then we have the Gabby Improvement Fund. I spent $112.96 on hobbies. This has to do with buying a Canon Selfie, which is a photo printer for my journaling. So totally worth it. And then I had some credit, so I didn't have to spend as much. I also bought a small cutting mat, so I can cut and glue things without getting stuff on my desk.
And,
some stickers, some Valentine's Day stickers at Target. $50 for self-care was just getting my eyebrows done before the trip. Spent $35 in tennis court rentals, and then $20.25 in personal care, which was shampoo. My half of shampoo. Subscription and fees. This would just be things like Peloton and New York Times for this month. Next month it'll look different. Variable expenses, we spent $16.92 in rideshare, which was teeny tiny, almost 0.5%, or a little over 0.5%. And then 0.1% buying my boyfriend a little treat. So all of that makes up $3,028.25 in spending for the month of January. I've broken down kind of like my financial goals here, so just to go over it. I'm not thrilled with how this spreadsheet looks, but it's what I have for now, so it might be different at some point. I don't know. The green is investing. I want to invest $17,500. So then I've broken it up in the different types of investments that I would do. I also want to save $6,400, broken down into a down payment in an emergency fund. And then my spending goal of 50%, like of cutting down my spending by 50%, my shopping spending, which is different because I also have spending for like hobbies and then like personal care items and things like that. It's just clothes shopping that is, I feel, my biggest problem. But so for my Roth IRA, I can't figure out how to do this on Google Sheets. I know how to do it in Excel, how to split this column. So while I figure that out, because I was trying to figure it out before the video and I gave up, I'll just do it this way and hopefully it'll be different when we do it again. So basically I want to track, one, how much I've saved for my Roth IRA this month in total, and then two, how much I actually invested already. So I have saved $3,450. And then I've already invested $584. I have not started sending any money to my brokerage, so that's 0. I want to do that after I meet some of these other goals that are priorities for me. For a 401k, I'm gonna do it this way. So I contributed $274.22 between my two paychecks. My employer did $219.37. So what they do is I can contribute, to get the full match, I have to contribute 5% of my income. And I do a Roth 401k with my contributions. My employer's contributions go into a regular 401k, a traditional. Essentially, I contribute 5%, they contribute 4%, and that's the full match. And then for my high yield savings account, for my HSA, I contributed $100 and they did $150. They do $150 per quarter. I have not started saving for a down payment on a home. That just comes, once I've met some of these other investing goals, because it's not a huge priority, but it is a little bit of a priority. And then emergency fund, every month I send $75, and then my high yield savings, like interest, will go into my emergency fund, and this month that was $91.41 for a total of $166.41 into my emergency fund. This will increase a little later on once I've met some of these other goals, like the Roth IRA is my main priority. This month I spent $110.67 on shopping. My goal is to keep it at here's the number, $2,889.15 or less. So 2.9 or less. This number is a little different than the YNAB number because I started YNAB with a credit. I had returned some boots that just took forever to credit to my account, 3 weeks or maybe even longer. I don't know. So I started January with $262.38 more than I normally would, but the 110 is accurate because I spent $228.44 and then I returned 2 of the 4 items, getting $117.77 back. And I know that I had a goal to not spend any money in clothes this first quarter, but I swear, this skirt I've been eyeing for months and months and months, and every single day I would check and it was sold out in my size, and so I had to wait, and then I was like, after Christmas I bet there's going to be returns and I can buy it, and sure enough, that's exactly what happened. So I bought it. So it's not just that though, because I did also buy a sweater, like a little cardigan to go along with it. It was just on super sale for like $46 or $47, down from like $80 or something. And it was so cute and I needed to have it and I bought it. But the good news is that I didn't let this one purchase like derail my shopping budget. So I think we're still doing well compared to how I did last year. But that is it for today's video. If you haven't done so already, make sure you give this video a thumbs up and make sure you subscribe. Bye.